Mick, 70 points in 2 weeks. What's been the secret to the turnaround?
Players like to score tries, and kick and goals. They're working really hard to make our attack better, and every week they're coming up with something a little bit different, and it's enjoyable to watch.
Has it been something you've implemented, or did you give them more freedom to play with the ball?
It's probably the players themselves, I think, have realised that there's more in them, and they want to play a little bit more, and I think they're just expanding out and they're trying a few things, and it's working for us, and I'm really happy for them, and to have that many points in a couple of games is great for everyone. No, not for West Tigers tonight.
How good is the feeling? You just heard the team song, there was a lot of zest in that, and the fans here, they seem to be loving it, and it just seems like it's a great feeling in the last 2 games to turn around for this club.
Yeah, again, we're still right down the bottom, and we're not getting carried away with ourselves or anything. But yeah, winning is, just solves a lot of problems, and it makes everyone at the club feel really good. And although again, in a couple of weeks we're going to have to back up and do it all again, and got another tough challenge. But yeah, right at the moment it's a great feeling and I really think Josh has played like 300 NRL games, and that's a great feeling to have a win on a milestone game. So I'm really happy for the whole club, and especially the players, because they do all the hard work there on the field.
It must have been pleasing when sort of did an arm wrestle to start with, the guys sort of held fast and didn't sort of panic when they weren't way ahead at half time, despite having a lot of the field position or possession. Yeah,
in a way that, again, if we look at it in hindsight, and you want to analyse the game, we can do things better as well, and probably the other team will do that as well. But I think there's a little bit more left in our players, and if we execute just a little bit better and be a bit more patient, I think just there's still more in us. So.
You mentioned it there. Patience, I thought, was one of the biggest virtues in the first half, in terms of the way, particularly that Kyle Flanagan was happy to hand the ball over 5 yards from their line, or to cause a repeat set when I think previous iterations might have tried to score or tried a miracle play. And eventually that told in the end. And I wonder if that was something you transmitted to the players beforehand.
Well, just playing that arm wrestle where you keep the other team right down the other end is crucial in the game, and the more you do that to the other team, the more residual effect it'll have later on. So if you do that early, and I think we did that early, that was one of the good things we did early, is push them back down the other end of the field, and consequently the back end of the game, I think we had a bit more energy.
Were you worried at half-time that you hadn't scored more points given the way that the game had gone, or were you confident that it would end up like that in the end?
I constantly worry. So I worry all the time. So even right at the back end of the game, I'm worried. So it doesn't change that part.
Can you articulate what's changed, or what has changed around the club?
I think confidence is a big thing. Took a lot from the win last week, and the feeling at training obviously is a lot happier and a lot more positive. And I just think the combinations between our spine, our 6, 7, 9 and 1 have just been really developing in the last few weeks. It's just clicked. All those guys are playing with confidence, and everyone else is playing well as well off the back of it. So there's certainly improvements in us. So like Potsy said, that first half I thought we had a lot of opportunities on our try line, it's a happy place at the moment.
Mick was talking about how much the players have realised that they've got a lot of footy in them. Do you feel like you've had a little bit more input in that sense, in terms of the style that you want to attack with?
No, not really. I just think it's just taken us a little while to find what works for us and to build those combinations. I mean, the start of the season, I think about 10 of our starting players were new to the club, so probably took a little bit longer than we thought it would. But happy it's coming together at the moment.
You mentioned your spine, but I think Matt just found out that he was in the Origin team. How rewarding is that for, I suppose, not just for him, but for the team?
Yeah, well, he deserves it. He's an Origin player. The way he plays the game, and it's not the big plays that he comes up with. which he does every week, it's his little efforts off the ball that make him such a good player. I think there was about 5 or 10 minutes to go in the second half there, and he chased someone down and then chased someone the next play and made the tackle, and that's effort. And I think that's what Origin's all about, and that's what he does so well. That's why he's such a great player.
Will you give him any advice as someone with quite a bit of Origin experience yourself, John?
Nah. Just do what he does. That's why he's there. Plays out.
Sorry, with Paul Vaughan, that tackle he made on Dane Laurie, like you had the game pretty much wrapped up, but he's chased the fullback back and dragged him down from behind, 15 metres out from the line. Like, what does it say about the club at the moment when you see a prop like that?
Well, they've got some pride in their jumper. They don't want the other team to score at any stage, so right up to the 80th minute. And I'm very happy with the way the players are playing off the ball, and they're trying to do everything possible to secure the wins, and those little wins like that, for example, is just an example of the effort that the players are putting in to try and secure wins.
Mick, what have you learned in this last month, given that, the first time that we spoke at a press conference like this, you just lost to the Tigers in your first game and you'd only had 2 days or whatever to work with them. You've now had a couple, a bigger sample size, and it looks to me like you've improved a lot, particularly obviously with the ball in hand, and I wonder what your learnings are on that time and where you think it might go towards the end of the season.
Probably what I've learned is I've got to know the players a lot better, and I think there's more in them than perhaps what you've seen on the field. And as Josh said about combinations, they probably took a little while to evolve, and I think we've got some decent players in the club, so it's not all doom and gloom. We had a good reserve grade win earlier on, so there's some good spirit being built, and again, winning helps there, doesn't it? And I think I'm pretty happy with how the players are going right at the moment. And again, next week's another challenge. It could all be different, but right at the moment, I'm reasonably happy with them.
Mick, you won a couple of games now, and there's been some talk that there's people who say give Mick Potter the job next year. Do you aspire to have this job? Do you want it long term, and what would it mean to get the opportunity again?
Well, I'm just comfortable right at the moment doing what I'm doing, and I'll probably assess in a few weeks and just see. But I'm comfortable trying to help out this group right at the moment, and I just don't want to be distracted to make a call on that right now. And mate, a couple of weeks, and I reckon I'll either go yes or no.
Do you have that option? Is that option?
Oh, well, it's an option to apply. Yeah. So they might already have a coach. I don't know. I haven't had any discussions about it, and that's why I'm just staying right out of it right at the moment, because I just want the players to focus on playing well and doing their best.
Are the juices flowing again, then, Mick?
Well, when you win, it's quite invigorating, isn't it? It's a good feeling, isn't it? And I'm really happy again. Like I said, I'm happy for the whole club.
You mentioned being down the bottom of the ladder. I mean, you're 13th now. Do you dare to dream finals? Like, is there a bullet?
Yeah, when you start to talk mathematically possible, that's when you know you're probably not much of a chance. But yeah, it's like the Dumb and Dumber movie. I suppose you're a chance, aren't you?
Thanks, guys.